I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Texans edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. The Titans won this contest, but will stay at the second place in the AFC South. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Saints pick up their 6th win of the year. Ron Smith had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Tyrone Wheatley ran to pay dirt 3 times and helped his Raiders beat the Jaguars. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Darnell Sanders will be on the move. You see it there. He'll be getting a nice little payday, too. 6 years, $3.5 million. This guy is also on the move as he signs a robust 5-year contract with the Browns.
Falcons, Seahawks. Bobby Taylor is set in his own territory, and he'll get the punt at the 40. He's going to break a tackle right there. And let's get him go. He could go all the way. 60-yard touchdown. The Seahawks win this one by the final score of 14-3. In the Big Apple, New York, we had the Giants get nipped by 3 points. Up in Ralph Wilson Stadium, we had the Bills end up with an 8-point victory. The Ravens won at home and finished their season by giving the crowd something to cheer about. The Patriots defense held their opponents to under 100 rushing yards in their win at Gillette Stadium. The Packers lost this one, but will stay at number 1 in the NFC North. Bengals, Eagles. Brian Westbrook is in his own territory, would like to get his team out to the midfield stripe. Takes the pitch, goes off right tackle, bursts through the hole. Look at him go! The 20, the 10, touchdown! 62 yards! The Eagles go on to win this by the final score of 27-17. In a long-standing AFC rivalry, we had the Chiefs pick up their 13th win of the season. LeVar Arrington played well despite the loss and showed us why he's ranked up at the top of the league. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. This week had some big injuries, and we'll get to all of them, but we're going to start right here. Sam Madison sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. X-rays revealing that a broken foot is the report. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. Antoine Winfield will miss the remainder of the season. So now that secondary is going to have to really come together if they're going to make up for his absence. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Charlie Garner was responsible for over 150 yards rushing and helped his Buccaneers beat the Cardinals. And in our final game, we had the Rams come away victorious.
All right, Chris, thanks. All right, folks, our playoff picture has now been officially finalized. So let's take a look at it now, shall we? We'll begin with a look at the AFC. Meanwhile, over in the NFC, the playoff picture looks like this. So there you have it, the regular season now in the books. Time to see which of these 12 teams will emerge as Super Bowl champs. We'll get it started for you on ESPN next weekend. And that'll do it from here. Chris, let's send it back over to you.
And then there were 12, the playoffs, right around the corner, which means it's time for our regular season awards. But first, my primetime players. The final round of game balls go to these Warriors, each with a standout performance in the final game of the regular season. All right, as promised, here's a look at this year's best of the best, our season-ending NFL awards. Tom Brady, without a doubt, is going to take home the hardware in this one. You see the numbers on your screen, but numbers really don't tell the whole story. Leadership, work ethic, love of the game, that's what truly makes him stand out. He had, without question, the best year of anyone. Steve Air McNair has got to be our choice for Offensive Player of the Year, and you've got to be hard-pressed to find better numbers than that. Obviously, give a lot of credit to the rest of the offense, but this is the guy that was driving the car, so to speak. LeVar Arrington gets the nod as our Defensive Player of the Year. I think when you look at this award, you think of guys that can really excel against either the run or the pass, But this guy can do both. What a year he had. Phillip Rivers comes away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. You know, it's very difficult to come straight from college, be handed the keys to an NFL offense, but he stepped in and did a bang-up job. Watch out. He's only going to get better with age. Jason Babin was our Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hard to think of any young linebacker with better instincts for the football than he has. He wins it in a landslide. Amon Green ran away with the rushing title this year. Talk about a threat out of the backfield, my friends. Finesse, speed, a surprising amount of power, which he used to bowl over the few who actually managed to lay a finger on him. What a year. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.